Oh, hello, Bruno.
Hello, it's great to see you again.
One of the last things you worked on was the big panorama of modes of existence. What was that about again?
Oh, yes, the modes of existence, les modes d'existence, as the word suggests, it was not simply about the fundamental question of existence, the famous to be or not to be. Rather, I was interested in the modalities of existence, in the how. In what way do we exist?
So, it's sort of a philosophy of life? What kind of life do we actually lead? Or even an art of living, like in the late Foucault and aesthetics of existence?
Oh, come on. Don't give me Foucault. He was still so modern. Like all epistemologists, he firmly believed in the separation of science and society. That's not true. In any case, I took the idea of modes of existence from a completely different philosopher who hardly anyone knows, Georges Simondon.
Perhaps you mean Gilbert Simondon?
Oh, yes, exactly. I sometimes always confuse them with the Belgian writer Georges Simondon. So, yes, Gilbert Simondon. In the 1950s, he wrote a book on the philosophy of technology called The Mode of Existence of Technical Objects. Hardly anyone knows it today. Be that as it may, based on this book, I developed my own theory of different semiotic systems, different regimes of enunciation, and so not only technology, but above all science, and then also religion, law, literature, and so on and so forth.
Wait a minute. I happen to know Simondon's book, but it doesn't talk about enunciation regimes at all. Simondon is specifically interested in the things of technology. He really takes the technical objects apart, disassembles the machines, and then compares them with one another. This approach has nothing to do with semiotics or linguistics, but rather with phenomenology, with Mikkel Dufresne and Roman Ingarden, who, following Husserl, were interested in the mode of existence of aesthetic objects.
Simondon's main reference was Etienne Sourio, but nobody knows him anymore either. As I said, I differentiate between these regimes of enunciation as modes of existence because if you only look at the networks and the actors, then you can not really recognize what the differences actually are. For example, between science and art, or science and technology.
Or between reality and theater? Between human and puppet?
Well, every enunciation regime is, one could say, a theatrical play. Every network of actors constitutes a drama or a comedy. Human and non-human actors appear. They act according to a certain scheme, a program of action, if you like, and recite their respective texts. And while all of this comes together, a stage is created, a model society.
But then that actually is a world of to be or not to be, not the universe of existence perhaps, but certainly a world of theater. And let's be honest, isn't the entire actor network theory more of a theatrical event than a substantial sociology?
Well, to come back to Suryo for a moment, he wrote a wonderful book about the theater in which, based on a classification of themes and actors, he describes 200,000 dramatic situations. Oh, I've always admired that, and perhaps my sociology aimed at something similar. As you probably know, I've also written a number of radio pieces and theater plays, and then look at my current mode of existence, a puppet in a theater.
But that's a way of life that suits you very well.
You think so? Somehow I'm still looking for my network and the other actors.
Oh, don't worry, you'll find them.